Cancun in 4. Good God, people.
Yeah, they crying out there. Let's run it back from the top. There we go. All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Thursday evening. Another edition of KnicksFanTV's post-game live presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use our code KFTV on the DraftKings Sportsbook app and bet $5 for $200 in bonus bets. First round matchup preview, or potentially going down in the D tonight. And while the New York Knicks would head into this one shorthanded, they certainly shot out the gates well. Precious Achiuwa leading the way for the starters, catching bodies. We saw a P.J. Tucker sighting out there. The captain, non-Brunson, doing his damn thing, and the deuce was loose. But in the second half, it was all Detroit. The Pistons wanted to get it out the mud, and the Knicks were having no parts of it, man. This one got physical. This one got gritty. And it was the Detroit Pistons that came out on top, 115 to 106. Let's talk about it, man. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. The people are panicking, and we're here to talk about it, man. TP the Fanchise, Alex Trataros on the ones and twos. How you feeling, man?
Well, I got my cat here just grilling me in the face, as you see. He just wants to be part of the action, so he's just hungry. So
nice.
It's just, I don't know if he's wanting actual food or is he just disappointed that I had to watch this game and see how it ended at this. But, man.
I hear you, man.
I'm conflicted, but I want to hear your thoughts first before I give you why I'm a little conflicted after this game.
Yeah, I mean, look, I liked how they, started out the gates, if you want to call it setting a tone. I did like how certain guys, I liked how Deuce played, even though Thibs put him on Cade. And, people were crying about that. Why is he on Cade? Why is he on Cade? I didn't care about that. He's not going to be on Cade in the playoffs for the primary assignment. And I thought, look, Cade had a height advantage over Deuce and everybody, and he took advantage of that. Nevertheless, I did like how Deuce looked offensively. I commend Precious for being ready to start in his role. He certainly had some bright spots in this game. I did like how PJ was getting a lot of cardio in there and also showed some physicality. However, Detroit, even though, because you saw a lot of vanilla looks from both teams, despite that, I felt that the tone that Detroit set, especially in the second half, you got to see more of who they are. And the Knicks got a nice sample of what they can expect in the playoffs. Because I also appreciate the fact that the referees were not giving them the calls. Even though I didn't appreciate the fact that they were once again crying about everything. This is playoff-style basketball. Get it out the mud. It's going to be gritty. It's going to be physical. And what are you going to do? And instead of answering the call, they folded.
That they did.
A mental meltdown from the second half. You had, how many turnovers did they have tonight? I mean, the turnovers were a doozy with Karl-Anthony Towns accounting for damn near half. They had 17 turnovers leading to 20 Pistons points. Karl-Anthony Towns accounting for 7 of those. You can't have that. We don't need that because you're playing right into their hands. Additionally, Detroit, they were attacking the basket, cutting all over the place. Knicks late on rotations. Detroit just having their way, and then once again, Cade just scoring over shorter, smaller Knicks defenders, whether it was Deuce, whether it was Landry Shamet. Tobias Harris got a gritty bucket or two in the paint. As your guest came on, as Koo said, this is exactly who they are. So, Ron Holland taking it to them, the athleticism showing off. I mean, how many points in the paint did the Pistons have tonight? They had points in the paint 66 to 46. That's their game. And conversely, they're 6th in the league in points in the paint. They're 4th in the league in opponents' points in the paint. And you saw a big reason why. Beef Stew was not giving Karl Anthony Towns an inch out there.
Jalen Duren was also doing his thing, too.
Jalen Duren was doing his thing offensively. So I like the fact that they smacked the Knicks around tonight so that the Knicks know come game one, you can't be playing with your food. These guys are hungry, and they are not going to quit for 48 minutes. So I like this loss tonight.
Yeah, you like this loss tonight.
Yeah.
That just reminds me to the JD, like, how do you – what?
Yeah.
But here's where I'm conflicted, CP. And on the one hand, I look at it as we didn't have Josh Hart, OG, Mitch, those three guys. Talk about three impactful defenders right there that you don't have against a Pistons team that isn't great in the half court. They're fine with cutting. They're fine with getting out in transition and being athletic. They obviously rely heavily on Cade to generate a lot of the offense, which they should. He's phenomenal. He's physical. He's got the height advantage against most of the guards. He's got the strength advantage as well. You just saw how he was backing down opponents and just getting into the paint. He's just a natural scorer when it comes to attacking at all three levels. But then you look at Malik Beasley, look at Tim Hardaway Jr., these guys who are just on a hot streak right now, shooting-wise. And so for me, when I look at that, like guys who are just, they're very one-dimensional. Like Beasley's not a guy who's going to kill you at all three levels. Timmy's not going to be a guy who kills you at all three levels. They really just have one guy, okay? Yeah. And the fact that we didn't have our top defender in OG, who will be guarding Cade, if this is the first-round matchup, he will be on Cade, and Cade will not have an easy night going against OG Anunoby. Still a talented guy, don't get me wrong, but when you can just focus in on one person and all the other guys are just, role players, I think the Knicks have a pretty good chance. Not saying it's gonna be an easy series, but I think they have a pretty good chance talent-wise. We didn't see the full talent displayed. This is where I'm conflicted, though. When you're playing a Detroit Pistons team who is hungry and that is, that just showed that they will fight for 48 minutes. They will figure it out some way, somehow. I just don't like that the Knicks, who, in my opinion, still had enough to win. You had Brunson, you had Cat, you had Bridges out there that should have been more than enough to defeat the Pistons, lock up the third seed, but they didn't. They folded. The energy just wasn't there from those guys. And I'm worried that if the Pistons come out hot, right? And let's be real, there are teams that we've seen over the past few postseasons that have had hot streaks, whether it's Miami with the Gabe Vincents of the world, Duncan Robinson finding his rhythm, all those guys. Like, we remember how far they can go. I'm not saying the Pistons team could get that distance, but I'm just saying that teams can get hot at the right time. Stuff like that has me a little concerned for a Knicks team that at times doesn't show that they're gritty enough, that they're locked in enough. And when we think about attention to detail being an issue against the Celtics, it's an issue again tonight. This team doesn't have a lot of wiggle room to say we can be okay and we'll turn it up in the postseason. They can't overlook anybody. I just don't think they don't have that switch, man. They just don't have that switch. And so that's where
we'll see. To say, I don't know if they have the switch tonight. I wouldn't say that for sure.
I don't, man. Look. There's games that we've seen against the Cavs, the Celtics, the Thunder, where it's like moments where, all right, guys, let's dial it up. Like they did it most recently against the Celtics, but
right,
that's one game out of many for a sample size.
But see,
so that's where it's like, I don't know, man.
Where I disagree is that they dial it up for the Celtics the same reason the Pistons dial it up for them tonight.
Sure.
They dialed it up for the Celtics the other night to try to send that message and win that game. The Pistons dialed it up tonight to try to send the message and win that game. I don't mind the Knicks not matching that. We have nothing to gain here by doing that. We don't need guys limping into the playoffs to try to win this meaningless game against the Pistons tonight. Conversely, your three grittiest players are all out.
Mm-hmm.
And this is another example where both OG and Mitch are ultimately going to determine how far this Knicks team goes in the playoffs. That's why I'm not worried. Like, I don't need to see – you already saw Brunson roll not his right ankle, he rolls his left ankle. I don't need to see him going to the max to meet the Detroit Pistons because they're desperate tonight to send a message. We don't need to do that. I don't need Karl Anthony Towns out there, getting hurt, trying to send a message to Beef Stew. Like, I don't need that to be the case. Now, they need to answer the call when it counts, for sure. And we will tell. Money time is coming up in a couple of days. But I'm not going to stress them not needing the physicality of the Pistons on a night like tonight. They didn't need this game.
But, bro, have they matched the physicality more than enough this season where you're like, all right, they can actually, like, hang with some of these guys who are going to show that type of effort? And let me go back into history a little bit, all right? Not even too long ago, right? Let's talk about 2 seasons ago. 4 seed was the Cleveland Cavaliers. 5 seed was the New York Knicks. Now, a lot of people going to that matchup saying, hey, this Cavs team has a whole lot of talent. You got Darius Garland. You got Donovan Mitchell, Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley. You know, they're looking at that team saying they got a lot more talent. Had Chris Fedor on here saying, hey, man, we got more talent than the Knicks. We saw it all across the national media. Stephen A. Smith crying every single day. How do we not get Donovan Mitchell? This, that, and the third. What did the Knicks do? They went out there and gentlemen swept the Cleveland Cavaliers, a team that was looked at saying, do they really have many guys outside of Jalen Brunson who can create for themselves, which they didn't. Julius was injured, wasn't playing like himself. And they had a lot of one-dimensional role players. Quick didn't play that well. Grimes was injured for part of that. But they had good enough effort from all the role players to dominate based on the physicality of their style and put the Cavs in their place. Because the Cavs are not a team, especially then, that like to play physical. And I'm not saying that history will ultimately repeat itself, but it is my cause for concern where this team during the regular season just hasn't shown that they're more than willing to play that physical game, even during the whole 82 regular season, man. Like, at least we have big matchups. First time, whether it be the Celtics, game 1, whether it be game whatever against the Celtics, whether it be the Cavs. And I'm not asking for this team to just say, go expend yourself against Detroit tonight. I'm not. But there's a big enough sample size where there is a little bit of a concern. This is why I'm conflicted saying, can the Knicks actually dial it up and match that intensity? While I do understand they don't have OG, Hart, and Mitch out there, can they actually do that?
Yes. You don't win 50 games without doing that. That's just the bottom line, bro. They do. It starts with the captain. You've got OG. You got Hart, Mitch, Deuce. They can do that. PJ showed it tonight. He might not get minutes. Shamet showed it tonight. The Pistons, they left it all out there in the court tonight. They took the game. Give them credit. They took the game. I'm not panicking over this. I see a lot of fans out there, they're panicking. They're going, some guy in the chat was like, don't even start the show tonight, bro. Shaq was right. I mean, you got people soiling themselves. That's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It'll be all right, man.
I'm just saying, man. I'm not saying that the Knicks are going to lose. I think the Knicks will ultimately beat the Pistons.
Yeah.
But the thing is, man, is the mentality there? Is the physicality there? Is the attention to detail there? And that's honestly the bigger thing for me, is the attention to detail tonight just wasn't there yet again.
Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for your boys. CP the Fanchise, Trataros in the building. Knicks lose 115-106. If you're panicking in the chat right now, throw a siren emoji in the chat. Let us know how you guys are feeling in the chat right now. If you're soiling yourself, throw a poop emoji in there, man. If you're scared, go to church. We team all 82 over here for the fans, by the fans. You already know. Let's see, man. Shout out to the Rhyme Animal, Chuck D. $50 super chat says a blind back can see its second half playoff path as a semi-tank job to the 4th slot. It's not just Detroit, but the Celtics behind them. We can beat the Pistons, but we will get chopped down so far from Boston. He says Precious is dunk and PJ was dope. The second half was Butler PA. Salute, man. Salute to the Rhyme Animal, Chuck D, man. The magic number is still 1-1. 1 win and 1 Pacer loss because the Pacers won tonight, beating the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavaliers lost tonight to the Pacers on the road. Cavaliers didn't play anybody. They sat basically their whole team. So Pacers got that W. They got one more against the Cavs, and then they got one more against Orlando. Knicks will see the Cavs tomorrow night in the second half of the back-to-back. The question is, who will sit tomorrow night, because tonight it was OG, it was Mitch, it was Hart. I would expect Towns to maybe sit tomorrow, maybe even Brunson. Brunson only needs one more game to crack that 65. So I would expect Towns to sit tomorrow, or maybe even Brunson sit tomorrow. We'll see who the Cavs send to New York. What do you think about that, bro?
Yeah, I would expect those guys to. I mean, look, Towns sat out the first of a back-to-back for Mitch. They don't really need to play anybody against the Cavs. I mean, they don't like these are the last few games. The question is, does Thibs care about solidifying the third, or would he not care and just rather fall to the fourth and face the Milwaukee Bucks? Like that's where I think that's where the real strategy is here at this point.
Yeah.
Who would they rather face in the first round? If they actually care, if they're actually thinking like that, if they care like that. Knowing Thibs, though, he'd like to end on a strong note. I think he wants to go into the postseason, showing that everyone's in lockstep. We talk about the attention to detail, playing physical, everyone's in rhythm. And with Brunson returning from injury, even though they don't necessarily need to go out there, win every single game and play 120% and go prove something, I still think it's important that you get Brunson and the team ready because players are right there, man. Brunson missed a good, about a month. I think you want everyone in rhythm right before you face whoever, and you don't want to have to try to find your rhythm in the first round and then have to, go play Boston. I think you'd rather, make light work of whoever your first round opponent is, get some more rest, and get ready to face what is looking like the Boston Celtics in the second round.
So to everybody in the chat, CP and Alex on the ones and twos. We got another super chat in here. So to our guy, Robert Randolph, a.k.a. Sergeant Sources. Just a $10 super chat. It's Thursday, it's not Friday. Just a $10 super chat. No comment from Robert Randolph. Shout out to Sources. Sources is chilling out. So shout out to him, man. $10 super chat. Shout out to Sources. Okay.
No Julius Randle love? Not from Randle?
Nothing.
From the Randle Hive over there?
Nothing from the Randle Hive. Nothing from him in regards to Julius. I think he's chilling tonight. Might be sipping. He probably forgot to, type in a message or something. Might be sipping tonight. All right, let's see who else we got here on the Super Chat front. 1,500 on the check-in. Like, share, and subscribe. Salute to the replay gang as well. Also, remember that these shows are available in audio podcast format if you happen to miss the show, if you got to check out. Salute to Omen. $5 Super Chat says Thibs took Landry out when he was matching Detroit's intensity. And why is PJ closing over Precious? Win or lose, can't look weak leading up to the playoffs. I like that sequence with Landry, man. Malik Beasley took him to the basket. He did the little, you two little joint. Somebody in the stands was clapping at Landry as well. And he responded with back-to-back threes. And then he drew a charge on Cade. And Cade was using that off arm a lot. He was using that off arm a lot. Brunson was trying to draw that. And he wasn't getting it, but Landry got it. I did like how Shamet scrapped, and I'm hoping he gets some playoff time because my man Campaign, Cardiac Cam, we don't need that in the playoffs. That's one thing we don't need in the playoffs. Man was running around with no head.
Thank God for DeLon Wright getting back in there. It's like, dusted him right off the shelf. But in typical Tom Thibodeau fashion, that guy's getting hot. Too hot for me, man. Let's pull him real quick.
Yeah.
What are we doing, man? That's the stuff that just really boggles my mind because this is not like a one-off occurrence. It's like you can't be doing that in the postseason. And even still, regardless of how you feel about this game, how tough you want them to all play, don't you want your guy who's now feeling it to keep in rhythm, not only for this game, but to potentially use him for the postseason? That's what I'm like, this is it. He's feeling it. Let him earn that. Let him continue to build that confidence. You're going to need 3-point shooting in the postseason.
Yeah.
Why are you taking him out early, man? There's no reason for that.
His eyes, he was almost on
he was
time.
He was wide eyed. He was like, I'm ready to kill.
Yeah, I like that, man. I was like, he's here. But Campaign, on the other hand, we don't need that.
How many shots do you want from the logo?
Listen, man, and there has been like a small contingent of Cam Hive members in the comments, in the chat, in the comments after the videos, like, yo, y'all are hating on him. Everything. Every time you criticize a player, you're always hating. That's the new talk these days. You can't criticize anybody. You got to love everybody. They've got to, put the lenses on, man. Put the glasses on, my man, because your man Cam, bro.
Dude. Even like
he's the perfect Nick. Cardiac Cam. He's the perfect Nick.
Like I had to what was it? I was listening to the post game that you and JD did, and it's like I'm like, yo, Cam, because I wrote that like the lineup that I really liked from the Celtics matchup was I like the double big lineup with Cat and Mitch out there.
Yeah.
Like that really showed the Celtics some problems in that one. And I was talking, just talking with people on X, and it's like, yo, campaign ruined that lineup. Like the shot attempts were like, bro, you're turning over the ball, and why are you taking logo threes? Like, why do you have the ultimate green light?
Yeah.
And why are we even giving you the ultimate green light?
Bro, it's
and like
it
would
has
be
been
one
so
thing
shabby, man. It's been terrible. Is decision making.
It'd be one thing if he was a consistent shooter, but he's not. And then I would be even a little bit more okay with it is if he even just like set up the offense more than look for his own shot, which is 9 out of 10 times he's looking for his own shot before he's like looking to set everybody else up, which is the most frustrating part out there, man.
Yeah. The part of the issue is with the guard situation. Look, no player is perfect. The issue with Deuce, he doesn't have the separation, and so his playmaking skills are limited, which is fine because Deuce, he's out there to go get buckets and get a stop, and he has to play major minutes in the playoffs, especially off the bench, because now he's the guy that has to go check Schroeder instead of checking Cade. He's got to keep Schroeder in check because Schroeder is their energy guy off the bench. He's their energy guard off the bench. Deuce's role is going to be vital, so he's got to get a lot of minutes, and I liked how he looked today. I didn't care about the defense with Cade. He was in lockstep. He's just too small. Cade was just shooting right over him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about that. Deuce did his job tonight, I thought. He got a little sketchy in late in the second half, but by and large, I thought he was good. Cam, he could give you this. He plays fast. He could give you the separation, but he's so small. The layups are prayers. I don't know how many layups he's made this year, but he probably like 40% at the rim, maybe even 30. He's so small. He's throwing up prayers, so all he has is a slingshot that he's always looking for. So even when he gets his paint touches, he's not distributing. He's throwing up the prayer layup, which is like flip of a coin with the slingshot 3 from the logo. The decision making is just not there for me right now, man.
I'm always impressed when a layup actually falls for Cam. I'm like, oh wow,
yeah,
there you go, man. Like you might be feeling your rhythm tonight. I think the one shot he should rely a little bit more on is that teardrop, that floater.
Yeah, the floater's all right. Floater's all right.
Yeah, he doesn't really go to that much. He usually tries to go for like off the glass, and it's like, I don't know, man. He would be much better, like I said, if he just focused on organizing the offense more than looking for his own shot.
Yeah,
and I think it would even help him more so if he organized the team rather than continue to look for his own shot. Because if you have Bridges, if you have Cat out there, guys who are more than capable of scoring for themselves and generating a lot of efficient shots in bunches, like then you're gonna have the defense shift that way.
Yeah.
Instead, when you're focusing on your shot, these guys can just set up, be like, all right, here we go. It's like if you want to talk about anybody, like the mentality is like the Julius Randle, like spinneroo, right? It's like, oh, here we go. We already know what's coming. This guy, you see the look in his eyes. This guy's about to attack the lane. We grab that board and we out, baby. And it's just like it can't, man. Because the thing is that when he's out there, and we even saw this against the Celtics, it's just a wasted possession. It's just a wasted possession. You give other teams an opportunity to get back in the game. And like I said, what I like that double big lineup. Mitch deterring guys from attacking the paint. Cat in that matchup was just dominating everybody, whether it be Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown. He was just on one in that matchup. And that unit could have gone on like a 15-20-0 run the way that Cat was playing and how Mitch was defending. Yeah. You just saw the impact there. but the Celtics were able to stay within 9 points because you have Cam turning the ball over, taking erratic shots, that's why I'm saying that you can't have wasted possessions like that, and especially in the postseason where everything's going to slow down, everything's going to be tight. Like, and if you're playing a Pistons team that's looking for the turnovers, and this is your matchup, like they're going to be counting, they're going to be licking their chops, saying, "Oh, here we go, cookies
Yeah.
right here, easy basket."
Yeah, absolutely, man. Okay, so to everybody in the chat once again, man, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Let's shout out. Who else we want to shout out here? Robert Randolph. Oh no, this is Rasheem Robinson. He says campaign is better at the 2, in my opinion. I'd rather Kolek minutes at the 1. I also admire PJ, but did we need to sign him? Does Thibs always need that vet presence? Well, listen, man, you gotta talk to management. I like PJ's minutes tonight. The fundamentals were there. He played like a vet. He played physical. He played tough. He protected his captain. You know what I mean? He sent the message to Schroeder a little bit. Knocked down his corner 3. I didn't mind PJ's minutes tonight. What was wrong with PJ's minutes?
6 boards. I like that he took his, typical corner 3.
Yeah.
But 3 offensive boards is the thing that stands out to me, man. I mean, you need that, especially when you're looking for second chance opportunities. And if you're playing a Pistons team that knows how to work the paint, like, get PJ more minutes because, Mitch is going to be grabbing offensive boards. If you got to throw PJ in there,
yeah,
more second chance opportunities, better chance of winning games.
That's exactly right. I mean, somebody in the chat said, "Why did you play PJ tonight?" I mean, you had 3 guys down. Like, what are these people talking about?
Who else are we going to at the big?
Who else are you going to?
We didn't have Mitch. So outside of Precious being, the backup center in this one, who else are we going? Like, literally go down the lineup. You're not playing Pacome at 5. You're not playing Kolek. Bechamp.
Make it make sense.
Watson, McCullough, Shamet, Payne. Like, there's only one other big on the bench.
Make it make sense. Shout out Christian B. Out $5 super chat. Fanchise channel member says, CP, I like you, but that other CP, get him off the court. He gets on my damn nerves with his shot. Yeah, you need better decision making from campaign. It's important. Those non-Brunson minutes, who's going to run the offense when this Detroit team is getting scrappy and they're barreling down on you defensively? That was a big problem. There's a non-Brunson minutes that the Knicks couldn't survive in. And, one of the things that the Towns-Stewart matchup is one to watch because he has a tough time. Beef Stew, he's a stout defender, as we all know. He had a tough time backing him down. When he did, he was throwing up junk, trying to draw contact. Like, in those situations, man, I think with Towns, just use the jumper. That's your potent weapon. Instead of forcing it, you're not going to get the call. What do you think is going to happen in the playoffs? We don't need you hitting the deck every time and complaining and then going down on the other side playing 5-on-4. I'd rather him just take the jumpers, bro. And hopefully, if he's out there with Mitch, Mitch will be cleaning up. If Hart's out there, Hart will be cleaning up. Like, for Towns, just trust the jumper, man, at that point. Because I'd rather just not have him because Beef Stew is pushing him way off his spots. I don't need you taking him off the dribble from the top of the key like you're Carmelo. We don't need to do that. Just take the jumper, bro.
And when you watch Cat go against, Isaiah Stewart tonight, and you just see that it's like he's forcing, Cat to take terrible shots. Now, this is where I'll say that I would like to see that, Mitch and Cat share the court because you're going to force Thibs, not Thibs, you're going to force Bickerstaff to play Duren and Stewart or some combination of 2 bigs out there, and that's just less offense for them. And so I would like to actually see that play Bickerstaff's hand, see how are you going to match this one. And to your point, it also helped with Mitch out there just cleaning the glass, but it also takes Stewart potentially away from Cat too. So I don't know. Cat, the thing about Cat, man, is that he's not really a guy who will take a lot of mid-range shots. Like, even if you look at his entire history through Minnesota, that's not like he can knock them down, but the setup for him to get there is not really there. Instead, what do we see? We see long distance floaters like he had tonight from like the free throw line or just a shy in. Really, though, it's that he needs to be taking a lot of threes. And he loves a trailer 3. He loves the top of the key arc. You got to ask Thibs to do a lot more pick and pop with him, especially with JB out there, just to force Isaiah Stewart to be out of the paint. And that way you can create a clear lane for anybody else to attack.
Yeah. And listen, I think, in those, like I said, you saw a lot of vanilla things tonight, but I think at full strength, I put Towns on Tobias and get Mitch out there. You got to get Mitch out there. Either Hart sits. At this point, Hart's going to sit. And you get Mitch out there, because they are a paint team.
You believe Thibs is going to sit Hart?
You got to get Mitch out there. There's no way.
I agree with that. Do you believe that Thibs is going to sit Hart?
Who else is going to sit? It's either Hart or McCall. So who are you going to sit?
Most likely will be McCall. I think we've seen that more often than not.
See, I'm not doing that because you need his half-court offense.
I agree.
And they need to go to him and be foolish not to. You need to get him his half-court mid-range jumpers because this team, what Detroit just showed you, they're number 4 in opponents' points in the paint. If the captain can't create that separation and these guys are not knocking down their outside jumpers, the next best thing is either OG drives and try to draw contact, depending on who's guarding him. Like, if you're going to put Asar on JB, then is it going to be Cade guarding OG? Because you're probably going to have Timmy or somebody guarding McCall. So you take that OG on McCade matchup, you go strong to the rim, and maybe you draw contact. If not, then I got to run those McCall middies. We need those McCall middies in the half court to calm things down.
I agree. I 100% agree that you should have Hart. You don't need to play Hart that many minutes. But we keep seeing Thibs is very over-reliant on Hart. I mean, look, man, had Koo on the show last night. He's like, he even asked, will Thibs ever sit Hart in that and get a 5-out lineup the way that you should be closing?
Yeah.
And I was like, look, man, Hart is like Thibs' lost child, man. So I agree with what you're saying. I don't think Thibs is going to do that. We've seen that too many times, even with Grimes here, right, against the Miami Heat, and we saw that Hart was out there. We know how he shrinks the court because sometimes he's reluctant to shoot the three. Theory, even with Grimes shooting poorly, you want to force the defense at least to be out on the perimeter, right? And I just think we're going to see Hart, and I think it's going to be something else that we'll be scratching our heads at.
I think he's got another wrinkle in the playbook that he's not showing.
I hope, man.
To me, that's been pretty evident with not having Mitch out there. And not playing tonight. So. Why didn't Mitch play tonight?
I mean,
mind games. See y'all all out there panicking. Mind games. Why didn't the Block Nest Monster play tonight?
Because he's playing tomorrow night against the Cavs, CP.
I don't know, maybe.
He has not played back-to-backs at all. You know this. Come on.
Yeah, but they chose not to play him tonight for a reason. Chose not to play him tonight for a reason.
They also chose not to play against the Cavs, too, the first time last week.
Antonio Daniels, shout out to my guy AD. If you guys don't know, Antonio Daniels, former San Antonio Spurs, played for a number of teams, won a championship with the Spurs. He's a co-host on Give and Go on NBA Radio. I filled in for him on Tuesday. One of the things that he says, this is coming from a championship player. He played on the Pop, he played on the guys. Once you accumulate all these regular season matchups, how you play these teams at the end of the season, you're running a lot of vanilla things because you don't want them to keep building that binder up on you. So you want to hold some things close to the vest. And I think that's what's happening here. You want to hold some things close to the vest. You don't want to just throw everything out there and show your whole hand. You want to throw some things close to the vest.
So those out of bound plays, are you telling me he's holding things close to the vest, or are we just still to this day rough?
We'll see.
When it comes to out of bound plays. Okay.
We'll see game one. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Welcome to the Fanchise channel memberships. Jay Boogie, the closer, in the building. Salute to you. Salute to Tugboat Taylor. Al, $5 Super Chat says, don't sleep on Terry Johnson. We all remember the spark he gave against us last postseason. A comeback is brewing. Who the hell is Terry Johnson, bro? Yo, Tugboat. Who's Terry Johnson, bro? Is that your cousin, man? Who's Terry Johnson, bro?
Not the Hope the British drama actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who's Terry Johnson in the postseason? No, I think I caught every game, man. Who's Terry Johnson, fam? I don't know, man. All right, let's get to the Discord. The Knicks Fix on the Discord. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
PP Alex, what up, fellas?
How you feeling, bro?
What up?
What's up, man? Yo, ba-dum-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it, yo. This was the best loss all season. I've never rooted so hard. Yo, I've never rooted so hard. I probably the last time I rooted this hard for a loss was the Zion tank years. But yo, Knicks wasn't trying out there, man. Yo, Detroit playing like game 7. But yo,
Yeah.
best loss so far. You know how like Breen always blessed us with the double bang? Cat definitely blessed us tonight with the double. Oh my God, he was selling so hard, man. Tossing up
man.
100s, falling down. JB knew the game was getting a little bit too close. I was like ecstatic. That's my captain. He made sure to miss both free throws. You could tell what the Knicks are doing. You could tell what the Knicks are doing, man. Like they're tanking. I called up my boy and I was like, yo, we were flipping back and forth between the Pacers game and this game. Yeah. Yo, all we got to do, but Shamit came out of nowhere and decided to play bang back-to-back threes and then we'll try to get the charge, right? Thibs was like, you know what? Come sit right back down on the pine, man.
Yeah.
But that's it. Chef's kiss, yo. That was a perfect loss. If we could, tomorrow night I'm going to the game.
Okay.
And people around me, tomorrow night, people are going to be so confused because I'm going to be rooting actively for Beauchamp, Kolek, McCullough, starting 5, man. Because, yo, we need to get these losses. This is, like you said, it's mind games. Like, you could tell they're trying to tank. So, 2 more games left. They interviewed Cat I don't know if you got it, but they interviewed Cat in the post game, and it was like, "Oh, you're gonna take tomorrow night's game off," and then he was like I said, we got to get ready, and so he didn't answer the question, so he's off tomorrow night. But yeah, 2 more games, 2 more losses, and I feel like Indy's gonna win out, man. So best thing for us to do is to drop to the 4, and like I had said a few games ago, CP. I want to face the Cavs in the second round. This is the window of opportunity, man.
So you think they're just setting up the play here? Is that what you think, sir?
Bro, like you said you said it, CP. I think it was last night. You said after the boss. It's one of your post game shows, man. You said tinfoil cap. They losing out. That's exact. Yo, this is clear as day. Yo, JB wasn't trying. JB was not trying tonight, man. So this is it. Like if you, because I feel like that would mean that the Celtics go to they would essentially face either the Pistons or Pacers, right? In the next matchup, like the second round. That's huge, bro, because now we could face a banged up team in the ECF if we get there, you know? So this is it. This is the play.
All right, man. I'm gonna let the chat vote on this, man. Rate that call in the chat. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. The Knicks, the Knicks Fix says that everything is coming into place here. What do you guys think, man? 1 being trash, 5 being facts. What do you guys think, man?
How often has that worked where a team loses, faces the opponent that they want, and beat the opponent?
Well,
I know some teams like to lose out and say, "Oh no, we want this favorable matchup over than what we got."
Yeah, we'd have to go back and look. I don't think it worked for the Bucks many years ago. I think it was the Bucks who were famously trying to avoid. Who were they trying to avoid? Who were they trying to avoid?
Was it Miami?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Or was it Boston?
Let's see here. We gotta look it up. We gotta look it up. It might have been the Bucks. What do you guys think, man? Does he have a point? What do you think, Al?
I don't like teams losing out, just trying to game the whole postseason. Like, go in there believing you can beat anybody.
Yeah.
I'd rather you go in there believing you can beat anybody rather than like, oh no, we don't want to face them because we want them because that's gonna be the better matchup for us. It doesn't work out that way, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't work out that way. And honestly, if you're playing to that, if you're okay with that mindset mentality, to me it just screams loser mentality. You're not really serious about going to the postseason, and you don't even have that much confidence that you can go take on anybody. I don't like that at all.
Okay. Yeah, are they? Look, they need to be resting guys. I'm on board with that as well. Is there a hidden meaning to it? I don't see it. Or are they intentionally not trying to win this game? I don't see it. That's not Tim's MO. But they should be resting people. They should be resting people tomorrow. They should be resting people on Sunday as well. And then you let the
Resting
chips fall
different than losing out.
Well,
Two different trains of thought. It's one thing to say we need our guys healthy. We'll take whatever, however the cards may land. That's one thing. If you're saying, hey, we're going to rest you, and also the benefit is that we want this matchup than the other matchup, don't do that. Yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got a lot of tomatoes in the chat for the Knicks Fix. And there you go, man. There you go. Okay, let's get to some more people on the Discord. CP and Alex on the ones and twos. Knicks lose to the Pistons, man. 115 to 106. How you guys feeling, man? Are you panicking? Are you straight? Let us know your thoughts, man, in the comment section. Let us know your thoughts in the chat. Before we get to more calls out, let's get to the key stats of the night. Brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Let's get to it, man. Pistons shoot 57% from the field. No defense by the Knicks, and Knicks were shooting well early and cooled off late. 46% from the field. They shoot 32% from downtown. Pistons shoot 36% from downtown. From the free throw line, Knicks go 78% from the free throw line, and Pistons go 72%. The Knicks did lose the rebounding battle by 1. 32 assists did the Knicks have tonight. To 20 for the Pistons. The Knicks did get 11 steals tonight, but they turned the ball over 17 times, which led to 20 Pistons points. And then fast break points, 13-9. The Knicks won that, but they got smoked in the paint, 66 to 46. Largest lead of the night, 13 for the Knicks, 9 for Detroit basketball.
Look, big thing for me, we already discussed it earlier in the show, is the points in the paint. Brought that up. Knicks are a top 5 team when it comes to scoring in the paint, and the Pistons are a top 5 team when it comes to defending the paint. And what we get tonight, 66 points in the paint for Detroit, 48 for the New York Knicks. For a team that loves to get downhill, to work in the paint between Brunson and Cat, you want to see this even, you want to see a more favorable number. Obviously, they didn't have their full rotation tonight. In that starting 5. But you want to see against a team like the Pistons that you still have enough talent to go out there and win. Tonight, they just, fell short, whether it's them selling out, whatever you want your thoughts to be. Wish they just won that one. And then when you talk about shooting-wise, Pistons were just on fire, man. I mean, 57% from the field.
Yeah.
Man. The one thing I did like, though, is that the rebounding battle was pretty even, considering that we didn't even have Mitch and Hart out there. So that was a good showing because this Detroit Pistons team is physical. So I think you could hang your hat there. If you're not even trying and you lost the rebound battle by 1, hey, you get Hart back out there. OG's been grabbing boards pretty well too. You get Mitch. On top of that, if you throw PJ into the mix just because you need some offensive boards, I like the Knicks' chances at securing second chance opportunities if these teams face in the postseason.
Yeah, I did think the rebounding battle was encouraging. I'm with you there. But the points in the paint, that was Detroit basketball. The turnovers leading to Detroit points, that was Detroit basketball. The Knicks have to play smarter. They absolutely have to play smarter and cut down. They damn near handed them the basketball with the stupid sloppy passes that they were making. So you just can't have that. It gives the plays right into the other team's hands. It gets the crowd involved. And before you know it, they have momentum. So that was something that should have been, eye-opening for the Knicks as they look forward to Game 1, potentially against these Pistons. The key stats of the night brought to you guys by DraftKings Sportsbook. Who's scoring big in the NBA this season? You are, with all the new ways to get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. From Monster Slams to Dishing the Rock to Cleaning the Glass, get behind your favorite players and prop bets you can make on DraftKings, the home of the NBA player props. And for you new customers out there, here's something special for you. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. And that's with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Use our code KFTV to get that deal. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY, which is 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. void in Ontario, and bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, visit dkng.co/bball. Okay. CP the Fanchise, Alex Trataros in the building. Starberry hit me up earlier. I think Starberry's coming on the show tomorrow. He was trying to get on tonight. I'm not sure if he's going to come tonight. But yeah, Starberry's coming through tomorrow, so we'll get some more insight from him on the playoffs and things of that nature. And there we go.
Cavs tomorrow night, man.
Yeah, Cavs tomorrow night. Yeah. You know what's so funny? So, obviously the Mike Malone stuff has been pretty big, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's been going around, and the Knicks fans are throwing the tinfoil kufi on, and they're trying to pave the way for the former Queens product. Shout out to Mark's Modern Life. He's our guy over in California. He's part of the Left Coast Knicks crew. He goes, Mike Malone is in the tank like Goku, waiting. But the funny thing is, it's not happening.
I don't if you're bothered by Thibs,
yeah,
you're going to get a lot of the same from Mike Malone. Maybe slightly better.
Yeah.
In the sense of if you want, and I hate saying Thibs doesn't play young guys because he does play young guys, but it's if you want young guys to be a little bit more incorporated earlier in the season to extend the bench like you did with Christian Braun, yeah, you could get that out of Malone, but he's going to run, his starters a lot of minutes. He's going to do a lot of those same things. He's going to be very rigid. If you want Mike Malone, I mean, him and Thibs are pretty much cut from the same cloth.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, don't.
Why don't you think it's happening, CP? Why don't you think it's happening?
I'm just a conductor.
All right, man.
That's all, man.
You got sources. We all know, man. It's all good.
I'm just saying, if he's on your wish list, take him off. That's all I'll say. just don't look forward to that on your summer.
Sources say from CP the Fanchise, it's not an option.
I'm just a conductor here, man. But like I said, if he's on your summer wish list, no, it's not gonna happen. Okay, let's get to I see a lot of trash talk in the comment section. If there's any Pistons fans in the chat, let's see how well their Pistons Fan TV, how formidable their content creators are. If you are a Pistons fan in the chat, throw a 1 in the chat and let us know if you guys are in here, man. Pistons fans, reveal yourself in the chat, man. I feel like there were a lot in here, man, talking a lot of smoke, man.
There was a good amount in yesterday's Game of the Week preview. They're supporting Koo out there. I was like, whoa. We got some Pistons fans in here, man.
Shout out to Koo, man. Shout out to GQ out $10 super chat says, after rooting for this team since 89-90, if I knew they were ducking a first-round matchup against anyone after all that build-up for the season, I think I would question my loyalty to this team.
Wow.
GQ standing on business, man. I don't blame him.
Look, man, I went on New York Post with Brandon One and shout out to Brandon One, man. I said, we ain't dodging no smoke. New York this team better not dodge the smoke, all right? That is not the energy you want to have going into the postseason. You shouldn't be afraid of anybody, man.
Yeah.
If you form this team to be a championship contender, then believe you're a championship contender. Yeah. Point blank, period.
Almighty Finesse typing one in the chat. Almighty Finesse. Come on, man. What are you doing, man? What are you doing, man? That's a KFTV day one, man. Or maybe he's really a Pistons fan and just a KFTV fan. But he's been in here for years, man.
Look, man, it's KFTV. We get a lot of fans. We have people who are Spurs fans, Pistons fans, all types of fans.
This is true.
That tap into the show.
This is
and
true.
Let me tell you, when it is Miami Heat and the New York Knicks, and especially if the Heat were good, Heat fans are in here like there's no tomorrow.
That was a war, man. That was definitely a war. The Heat fans come in here heavy. They definitely do. But shout out to you guys, man. If you guys are Fanchise channel members.
Don't be like Sixers fans.
Yeah.
Don't be like Sixers fans.
I hear you. If you guys are Fanchise channel members, man, throw a salute in the chat. Let us know that you're in here. Salute to the family. Salute to everybody watching on Facebook. Okay, back to the Discord we go. Tone, go ahead and unmute your mic. Tone.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How you feeling, sir?
I'm all right, man. First with this Mike Malone stuff, man. I don't want Mike Malone here, bro.
Yeah.
Like I don't like Thibs, but I'd rather have Thibs than Mike Malone,
Yeah.
to be honest. Man, Cat, man, I don't know what the hell. Cat with 7 turnovers, bro. Like all these turnovers, like, bro, what are you doing? Like they was bullying, bro. Like he gotta be stronger, bro.
Yeah.
He gotta be stronger. He can't get pushed around. He gotta. I know he's terrible on defense, but he gotta at least be decent in the playoffs, bro. Because we need him. We need
Yeah.
him to be strong. We need Mikal to get his head out his family show. Like he's I don't know, man. These two, they get on my nerves, man. And then I'm counting the days, the hours, the seconds that campaign is off this team. I am counting. I have a damn like 5 clocks right now, just running to the end of the season, June, whatever. When campaign be off this team, bro. I
Yeah.
am tired of campaign, bro. Like the shots he take it's mind blowing, bro. Like what are
Yeah.
you doing, bro? This is why you was out the league.
This is why he's been on several teams in
Like,
several
bro,
years,
what are you
man. It's
doing,
just,
bro?
yeah. It's
And
true.
the other caller with losing on purpose, bro. I'm not trying to hear that.
Okay.
We're not losing anything. We not ducking no smoke, bro. I want Boston. Don't do none of that losing to play Cleveland. No. Go this route. Beat Detroit. Beat the Celtics. Like you want to get over somebody, you gotta beat them. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Nobody fears the Celtics, bro. Like, come on. Like, just man up, bro. Y'all gotta man up and play them. That's it. But they need to get the win, man. And the
Yeah.
last point, bro, if we wanted to rest people and do all this stuff, we should have won the Boston game. We would have won that game if they would have just fouled. We would have won, and then they could have rested everybody. These last
Rested
couple
everybody.
games, they could have just rested everybody.
Yeah.
They're kind of shooting themselves in the foot because somebody has to play. So you can't rest everybody. So like somebody gonna have to play, and they're gonna keep. That's a chance for them to get injured. Like if we would just took care of business early and just won one of these games, then everybody could rest. Right? But that's it, bro.
Yeah. All right, man. Hang in there. Tone, hey, rate that call in the chat. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. Tone said we are not ducking the smoke with anybody. I like his approach, man. Shout out to Tone.
Sounds aggravated, frustrated.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, man, why didn't we just win one game? All we have to do is just beat Boston. Team could have rested. Team could have been. He's got a point there, man. Team could have won tonight. They could have been done.
Team could have won tonight. That's
the other point, man. It's like if you took care of business, you don't got to worry about Cleveland and Brooklyn, and you're done.
True. Shout out to Jack Webb, Australian $5 super chat says Thibs' trick up his sleeve is Big Cat Mitch minutes. No one can plan for it as we've barely used it. Pain in the trunk, please, and will Mikal extend? Yeah, I think he will. I think Mikal will extend, and I do believe that is the trick up the sleeve. Heavy Twin Tower minutes in the postseason. Shout out to Zach, Fanchise channel member, Mike Hill Jr., Will Mercado, Shane from New Jersey, long-time member, DJ Skinny, William Burton, P. McGee. Al, which Fanchise channel members you want to shout out in the chat, man?
Let's see who we got here. We got Michael L., who's a Fanchise channel member. We got James Davis. Shout out to you. Who else we got in here? We know the Chief Mod and Operation TM is in the chat. We got P. McGee, you said there. Roger Black. We got Santana in here. Who else we got? I know we got John Talento.
Always
we got the regulars in here. Who else we got? Junior Karoma. I know you in here. We got Break Forever in here. Shout out to you, too.
Shout out to Fabian. Aiden checking in from Nova Scotia. Checking in up there. Billy R. Salute to you.
Shout out to JJ as well. JJ's also a regular, also in the chat as well.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Lash. Lash is in here. I saw Lash throw some fives up. Shout out to Lash. Okay. Mawley, you up next, man. What's good, bro?
What's up, man?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm not gonna lie. not even worried at all, man.
Okay, tell us why, man. Tell us why, man.
So look, I mean, obviously Detroit they sent us a message. They were physical with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we didn't have 3 key players, but it was still a winnable game at the end of the day. But honestly, I think once we get into the playoffs, the playoff mode, that's gonna be the real factor. Because if you're telling me K's gonna have to average 30 against us to beat us,
Mm-hmm.
and mind you, he hasn't seen OG as a primary defender yet this season. I don't think. I think what Mikel was mainly the primary past games, and what Deuce was tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I mean, we shouldn't really be worried. Honestly, I think what we do need to do is match the physicality.
Yeah.
Because we can't let them outpunk us in the playoffs. It's like that's gonna be a definitely no. But I think we'll be good, man. I think everyone's just, the whole league, kind of looking at the Knicks as a laughing stock right now because not contending teams. But all we have to do is shut down all the noise, man. Because last year there was a whole bunch of guys bandwagoning, like, oh my gosh, the Knicks are doing so good.
Yeah.
Just the injuries and stuff. And then, we're struggling a little bit. And now everyone's trying to turn the page. You're like, oh, the Knicks are so terrible.
Yeah.
So once we block out the noise and, we do our job, I think we're fine, man.
Yeah.
Everyone just needs to take it easy and just wait till the playoffs. And that's when the real test.
Appreciate the call, man.
Hope you guys have a good night, man.
Mawley in the building. You too, man. Mawley in the building. Everybody have a good Friday. Thursday night coming to a close. Zach, checking in from the left coast. Zach, how you feeling?
Chilling, CP and Alex. How you guys doing tonight?
Yeah, good, man. We here.
What up?
Word. Yeah, I think this game was more so like preparation for the playoffs. I think you guys mentioned there's a lot of chess playing at hand here. We can't just throw all of our cards into the ring. So, we got to make sure that we got some wrinkles. I think the Celtics game really showed that we do have an ability to stand with the best teams. So, it's better to rest our players, get ourselves prepared for the playoffs, create an opportunity for ourselves where we can come in strong and not feel like we're being overwhelmed by teams, the best in the league.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. That's a good point.
I think there's a lot of panic over a game that's, the third to last game of the season where, these players are going to have a downtime of a week before they get, prepared for the big battle.
Yeah. And that's it, man. They just locking in. They'll be ready to go. I'm not worried about this, bro.
Yeah, this was a lineup, that is just, basically let's get everybody rested. Let's get everybody prepared.
Okay. I get the joke now, man. Okay, so the Terry Johnson joke. I get it now. I was a little slow to process. My computer wasn't processing. Can't remember when Campaign got bagged, maybe in the offseason, or was it the offseason before that? He was out in Phoenix or somewhere and got bagged, and he told the police his name was Terry Johnson. That was the joke. That was the joke. I'm a little slow, man. I got it now. Shout out to TM, man. He doesn't miss anything. Yeah, okay, I got it now. Shout out to who's the one that left the Terry Johnson super chat. We gotta big him up again. That was funny. Tugboat. Don't sleep on Terry Johnson. We all remember the spark he brought against us last postseason. Okay, a comeback is brewed. Okay, we got it now. Shout out to him. That was a good one, man. Yeah, man. All right, Zach. Good call, bro.
You have a good night, guys.
Yes, sir. Talk to you tomorrow, man. That's Zach on the Discord. You remember that, Al?
I do remember that. Now that you actually
Terry.
now that you say it out loud, it's like, oh wait, that did happen. It's like the small subplots in NBA culture and NBA history. They're like, yo, what? What? Like, if you don't, I feel like unless you're actually part of that fan base, you're not gonna remember it too often.
Yeah. This was it right here. This was it right here. I mean, hey, listen, man. Everybody, has got some things going on in life. But in Campaign's case, this was former Phoenix Suns guard Campaign identified himself as Terry Johnson in a police body camera when arrested after police were called to the address. There was the domestic disturbance. Boom, boom, boom. Campaign birth January 1st, 1998. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, so that was pretty much the extent of it. We don't got to go into the issue.
Can we get a fan at one of these postseason games with a Terry Johnson sign. That's what we need. Hold up the sign, say, let's go Terry Johnson.
Yeah. Big up Terry Johnson to them, man. Big up yourself, Terry, man. Juan Carlo, we see you in there. Shout out to Ron Carlo. So, yeah, that was it. Shout out to TM, man. Doesn't miss anything. Okay. Let's go back to the members lounge. Shout out to the Fanchise channel members out there, man. Remember, the members lounge, you get direct access to call in. And for example, Big V from Harlem, we got 5 people waiting in the lounge. And those 5 people, we're going to get to you guys. But Big V from Harlem is a Fanchise channel member. So he jumped everybody, Al. And we got to go to him. This is what they pay for. Big V from Harlem, go ahead and unmute your mic, sir.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How you doing, man?
Good evening, fellas. Man. Yep. Salute, 3 CP faces. I love that emoji.
salute, man.
Yeah, that's my favorite emoji. Yeah, I was gonna tell you about the Terry Johnson joint. I've been calling him Terry Johnson all year.
Okay.
That's my man. Yeah. Only when he does good. When he's chucking shots and doing the slingshot from back in old Eden. The Dave versus Goliath thing. I call him campaign.
Bro,
he's disgusting.
Man, it's brutal, man. But hey, we still hold that hope that he hits a big shot, a big momentum shot in the second half. That's all you could hope for.
Listen. The right man is on the bench. His last name is right. Thibs got to make that change. That's all it is. We want defense. We know he gonna make a decent play. We know he's a bigger guard. He's gonna play the defense. And against Boston, they gonna shoot over all those little midgets. You already seen what Tatum did. So
yeah,
you're gonna have
6'5", and that was good tape because you see how the Knicks were much shorter out there without OG. Josh Hart 6'4". Hey,
Tatum is a solid 6'8.5", almost 6'9".
That's right.
If OG's not on him, listen, McCall is small. Everybody else is small to him. You know what I'm saying? The only person that got a block on it was Mitch.
Yeah.
Mitch is 7'2".
Yeah. And Dellen's got that wingspan to get into the passing lanes as well. Can't forget about him, man. Shamit's short, Shamit's short. He's getting scored over.
Yeah, Campaign is playing himself out of a playoff rotation spot. I'm sorry. He is. I know he just came back from injury and all that, but prior to that, he was kind of playing himself out of a rotation spot.
Yeah.
So Thibs got to make a hard choice. He got to make it. He got to do it. They did it to him in Philly.
Yeah.
So they put him on the bench. We didn't see him after game 3, game 2.
Probably, yeah. It was probably like game. I don't even remember. We went to game 4. I don't really remember game. Yeah, it was probably after like 3.
Yeah, he was on the bench. Lowry's in the game, flopping all around, trying to take fake charges and all that. We did not see Campaign after that.
Yeah.
Hard decisions got to be made. You don't want to play smart. You got to sit down.
That's a fact, man. Appreciate the call, bro.
And then, hold on, one more thing.
Yeah, good.
I'm from the '90s. We don't run from opponents.
Talk to him.
We don't run from opponents. We from New York. We take all comers. I don't care who it is. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Have a good night.
That's it.
Guys.
Yes, sir. Big V from Harlem World, stand up. Al, you were saying something? Go ahead, man.
No, I wasn't saying anything.
No. Oh, okay. All right. Shout out to Big V from Harlem, man. Shout out to Big V. I'm just looking at my guy Pastor Mike. Shout out to Pastor Mike. Did you see the Pastor Mike episode out?
I have not seen that one.
Pastor Mike. This was one of our Bleacher Report joints from a couple of weeks ago. Shout out to Pastor Mike. He just had his portrait unveiling at Morehouse College, man. Big portrait.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, big portrait, man. Yeah, it's a big moment for him. So he just posted it up on the gram. So shout out to Pastor Mike. Congratulations. Maybe he might be watching later on tonight. He might be catching up on the replay gang. So congratulations to Pastor Mike on that accomplishment. Okay. Then we get some more super chats in here. 1,300 people in the chat. If you guys are new in the chat, leave us a hashtag new. We will shout you guys out. Shout out to El Dontastico Al, Fanchise channel member, $10 super chat says, the dog OG will be all over Cade. All 82 and beyond. Let's go, Knicks, man. Thank you, KFTV. El Dontastico, talk some sense into these people, man. They panicking after everything, man. The dog, they forgot we still got the dog. They forgot we still got the Block Ness monster. What are we talking about here?
I think the thing is that what people want to see, man, is that this team's just, will rise to the challenge and play a physical brand of basketball, regardless if this is just an irrelevant game.
Yeah.
They just want to see that the team can do it.
I hear that. I definitely hear that. Who else we got? Jay Boogie in there. GQ, $10 super chat again says, I think we'll win a contested series, but Detroit is going to beat us up in the first round. Also, is it me or is our offensive movement a lot less when Brunson is in the game? Yeah, it's been bogged down with Cap out there. I'm not gonna lie to you, it has not been as fluid. So let's see if we got some wrinkles there as well. It has not been as fluid as you would have liked to see since he's been back. So let's see where we go from there.
Probably be the argument to say, hey, these guys got to play a few more right before giving them all a break,
Yeah.
And even if they won tonight, you could at least trot them out for like 10 minutes. Be like, all right, here you all get your start. Be out there for a few minutes, run through some stuff. All right, now you're all done. Put the bench out there.
True indeed. True indeed, man. Shout out to Nick Forever, Fanchise channel member. He's got his New York versus the World hat in his avatar. Shout out to him. Yeah. Definitely get your merch at KnicksFanTV.com. Definitely get your merch at KnicksFanTV.com. Rally towels, man. Before the playoffs, get your rally towels. The playoff merch will be coming out next week, early next week. Finalizing the playoff merch. Watch party details underway. We're getting that on the wraps. Some surprises as well. Cross your fingers on that. Some surprises. We got couple tricks up our sleeve. You know what I'm saying? A couple production tricks potentially up our sleeve.
Ooh.
So yeah. Let you know ahead of time, man. Hopefully, if it's for game 1, we'll get you down from Beantown, man, and get it popping.
I'll be there. I will be there.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, who else we got here? DCannon 93, still on the members lounge, Fanchise channel members. DCannon 93, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, Alex, what's going on, guys?
Hey, how you feeling, bro?
What up?
Good. Yeah, man, this game tonight, man, I'm not too concerned about it, man. Honestly, I mean, his game, game 70, 79
80.
or 80?
80.
80.
Yep.
80. So we got 2 more games left. So honestly, it was just more so just a good preview of the Pistons, right? This was like a good look, at least for me. It was a first time that I could really look at them and see oh, okay, they have some good physicality. All right, great. They're a physical team. They're a hungry team. They're a young team. They got their vets. They're going to the postseason, for the first time in, God knows how long, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're in a hungry city ready to win the playoff series, right? So they have all of that riding for them. So the Knicks, they're going to come in with the playoff experience, but they have to get to that next level that Alex was talking about at the beginning of the show. There's a next tier that they have to get to. They have to gear up. They have to get to that level of physicality that we had last year. I mean, they're not going to get because we don't have the same guys, obviously. But there's just with a team like Detroit. I mean, you shut down Cade, you shut them down completely. I mean, you shut down Cade, you shut down their offense. After that, you force other guys to step up and shoot the ball, whatever, Beasley, Hardaway Jr., Stewart, whatever. But either way, you have to still be physical with them in the long run. And it's going to be a grueling series. So you just got to go into it with a different mindset. You got to go into it knowing that, we're going to get beat up, but you got to beat them right back. And that's all it is, man. And this whole thing about, again, what everybody's been saying about we're trying to get to the 4 seed so we can face the Bucks. And I'm like, I don't even know what that even is, man. What is this? We got the 3rd seed. We're gonna face the Pistons. That's what we're gonna face. Face who we're gonna face. Face Boston. Face the guys that you're gonna face. And that's it.
Let the chips fall where they may, man.
Hey, that's what you got to do. But yeah, that's all I got, guys. But you guys have a good night, man. And yeah. So let's go Knicks.
Appreciate the call. DCannon in the chat. Rate that call in the chat, man. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. DCannon on the check-in.
Pistons last made the playoffs in 2019. Last time the Pistons won a playoff game, shout out to Q for this one, was 2008.
2008 was the last time, man. That's right. Absolutely. So we'll see what happens there. Okay. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys and hit that thumbs up button for our friends at, you know it, Al.
Oh, boy.
Skims. The official underwear partner of the NBA, the WNBA, as well as KnicksFanTV. Shout out to Skims. Shout out to Kim K and that man. You know, hey, up and coming clothing brand for both men and women. And like I said, they are official underwear partner of the NBA, the WNBA. As you see, Spider Mitchell, you know, rocking his Skims. Well, fellas, man, you know, Skims isn't just about the underwear. It's just not always about the boxer briefs. They got a ton of stuff for today's man, from the tees and tanks, hoodies and sweatshirts, a lot of active wear that you guys can check out. So definitely go to their collection, skims.com, shop the men's collection, or you can check out their flagship store on 5th Avenue and see everything in person for you guys that are here in New York. If you do check out the briefs or the boxer briefs, hey, check out the 5-inch boxer briefs, man. They're styling and profiling, good material, quality materials, stretch, nice stretch and expansive, and they don't ride up on you like a lot of those cheaper boxer briefs do. So they fit snug, they fit nicely on you, and you'll be good to go, man. It's very versatile. You could hoop in them, work out in them, ride your bike if that's what you're into. So very sleek, very snug. Kind of just like those athletic tights. That's the best way that I would describe them, but also comfortable. Alex knows as well. We sent him a care package of Skims, and so he's been styling and profiling as well. So make sure, once again, you guys check them out. And once you make a purchase on skims.com or check out the flagship store, they will send you a post-purchase survey in an email asking you how you found out about them. All you do is click on podcast and then click on KnicksFanTV. That's how we get our credit, and that's how we run the show here, man. It's how we keep the lights on and run all these shows like Post Game Live, like the play-by-play show, like, you know, we're running up a lot of content coming up this playoffs. This is how we keep the light on, man. So make sure you guys check out our friends over there at Skims and let us know that the good people at KnicksFanTV sent you. Okay.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, man. Lightweight, breathable.
Yeah.
Skims are awesome.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate you without having to go to the flagrant 3 route.
Yeah, well, listen, man. You know, if you need a re-up, like I said, it's just we know who to call. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Yeah. Shout out to Tim for putting this in the chat. Kim K, you got to create the KFTV edition.
We need a KFTV edition Skims. We'll send that up. We'll send them, put a little request in the request box with the R&D team. You know? So, there we go.
And then we could be asking people, yo, you got your KFTV Skims on?
Yeah, we should do a KFTV collab Skims. Absolutely. Let's do it, man. All right, let's go. Let's get to the phones, man. Carlo, Nick 100. Carlo, go ahead and unmute your mic. Rapid fire.
Hey, what's up, CP? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up? What's up, Alex? Man, I'm glad I got the call in.
Yep.
But yeah, man, just, you know, watching the game, you know, it was good for the first half, but in the second half. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear, man. It's your show, fam.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the first half, it was really good. You know, second half, it did look like they was not trying as hard as they could. You know, I know they could try harder than that. But, you know, it's not something to be worried about. Once playoff times come, we're going to put OG on that boy, and he's going to be able to slow him down big time, you know, on the big plays. And Mikal Bridges, you know, I think he's going to be very valuable, you know, with that mid-range, just like you said. So, you know, I'm not worried at all, man.
Yeah. Okay. Appreciate the call, man. Where you calling in from, man?
Right now I'm in Florida, but I'm originally from Jamaica, Queens.
Okay. All right. Queens get the money, man. Southside.
You already know.
Southside, man. Okay.
Yep, Southside Jamaica, Queens.
There we go. Shout out to Carlo, Nick 100.
Yeah.
Checking in from Florida. We can hear you, man. Just go ahead, man. You know. Shout out to Jamaica Queens 22 in the chat, Al.
Shout out to Jamaica Queens, man. Always in here.
Yeah.
He's a regular.
Yeah, man. Throw your cities, throw your state in the chat, your country, whatever you guys are repping. Let's do a city check-in, man. Let us know where you guys are checking in from. Throw it in the chat. We will shout you guys out. And let's get to the next caller. BX, stand up. Omar, you up next. Omar.
Hey, what's going on, guys? You can hear me okay?
Yes. How you doing, man?
What's going on, guys? Nice to call in again.
Likewise.
So I'll keep it rapid fire. I think everybody said I don't care about this game, man. These last couple games of the season doesn't matter what happens. Yeah, I'm not worried about Detroit. It's Knicks in 5. But what I will say, the Josh Hart honeymoon period is over. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's an unpopular opinion, but we overrate the quote unquote effort. Like, we get it. He plays hard. We understand that. But the switch that needs to be made, I know it's not going to happen. It's Thibs. Put McBride on the starting lineup. If you put McBride and you swap him with Josh Hart, it changes the dynamic of the offense. Because McBride, we underrate his shooting. He's a knockdown three-point shooter. Like, even his misses, they look good. And he hits a lot of tough shots. He's improved. That kid has improved significantly from when he first started out. He's a knockdown shooter. He can create off the dribble. And he does a lot of the same things that Josh Hart does. I mean, he seems like the same player, just with a better shot. So I'm not saying this to knock on Josh Hart. I'm just saying having him on the court for the entire game is crazy, and it's putting us at a disadvantage. It's 4-on-5. It really is. And when you have that out there, they're able to kind of double team Brunson or double team whoever's hot, whether it be Cat or Brunson or even Bridges if he gets on one. If you make the switch, just something subtle as that, swap McBride for Hart, just at least in the beginning of the game, so we don't fall behind, especially against these better teams. It'll make all the difference because they're going to have to respect McBride's shot. And you have another shooter out there which spaces the court. So it's not going to happen. Thibs is not going to do it. I expect Hart to be on the court for damn near the entire game. But it puts us at a disadvantage. We get it. He plays hard. He pushes the pace. But he's a liability. So, you know, the Josh Hart honeymoon period, man, it's run its course.
Yeah. You know, in the beginning of the season, I was averse to it. You know, I wasn't a big fan of it, but you know, now that you see that the way that they play and that he just doesn't have the same confidence in his shot, you need a lot of McBride in here, and he's got to be the guy that you go to if both Hart and Bridges are on, you know, just don't have that impact. They just don't have that punch. Deuce is going to be aggressive. He's going to be aggressive, which is the anti-McCall, and he's going to knock down shots, which is the anti-Hart. So you know, you got to have threats out there, especially if you're going to throw, you know, Mitch out there. You can't have Mitch and Hart out there. That's two negatives on the offensive side. You got to find a way to get Deuce out there if you're going to get Mitch out there as well.
If I could just say one quick thing, I know there's a lot of people on the Discord.
Sure.
Just real quick, we always say, like, you know, we know, like the last game where we say, you know, for example, Cat had a really great first half, but then they just went away from him the second half. That's not true. They're forcing the ball away from him. The other team adjusts in these games. Like whoever has a big half, whether it be Brunson, Bridges, Cat, whoever has a big first half, the other team adjusts the second half. And because you have Josh Hart out there, their adjustment is just to double or deny the ball for whoever's hot. They just take them out the game because you're able to sag off of Josh Hart. Pause. You're able to kind of, you know, leave that shooter open, and they're able to double team whoever has the hot hand. So I'm telling you, just swap that out. Put a pure shooter in there. If it was Dante last year, it would have been him. But this year it's McBride. Swap him out for Hart. I'm not saying Hart doesn't play. He'll play a significant amount of minutes. But swap McBride out for Hart, especially in the beginning of both halves, the beginning of the game and the beginning of the third quarter where things go south. And it'll make all the difference. We're going to need that. This NBA is too good, man. Like, you can't just rely on your defense. Guys make shots. So we have to match that fire for fire when it comes to three-point shooting. The NBA is too good these days. Thanks for taking my call.
Rate that call in the chat, man. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. I don't care who he's playing for. I don't care who he's coming in for. They need Deuce. They need Deuce, bro.
What is your closing lineup right now, CP?
Closing lineup right now is going to be Brunson, McCall, OG, Cat, and Mitch. That's my closing lineup. Has to be.
Would you consider McBride being in that closing lineup for Bridges?
Sure. Just like Miami. If you don't got it, you don't got it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have time to play politics in the playoffs. We're trying to win the game, every game. If you don't have it, if Bridges is cool, all right, cool. You could rock. And McBride is still going to get his minutes. It's come to the point. I'm with Omar, man, and I'm a big heart guy. I'm a big guy in terms of his intangibles. But if it's got to be a test early. If he's gun shy early, McBride in there. We just can't afford it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's not even necessarily that you need to start McBride over Hart. I still think you can keep the same lineup. I always say that it comes down to who's closing the game. That's why I asked you, who's your closing lineup? That's the more important thing, to me at least. And I think that's, if you ask most coaches, if you ask most players, they'll probably say, I'd rather be closing. And while starting is important, I don't think it's as important as who you have as a closing lineup, especially since you should be staggering a lot of these players anyway to get them into offensive rhythm.
Yeah.
And just to keep guys fresh. But definitely need McBride out there just because of the defense, because of his shooting. But I would probably go with that first lineup that you mentioned with Bridges, just because you want wingspan out there.
Yeah.
And you certainly get that with Bridges. Even though he's been up and down, defensively this season, I'd still have the wingspan out there and the height advantage.
Yeah. And I can, because who did Detroit go out there with? This is their guys. This is Tobias, Asar, Timmy, Jalen Duren, and Cade. So in this instance, against that five, hang on, let me just pull it up here so we can take a look. Against that five, I'm putting well, if it's Duren or if it's beef stew, I got Mitch out there for that. I'm putting Cat on Tobias. I'm putting OG on Cade. And I can get, you figure Malik Beasley will be in there either for Asar. Malik Beasley will most likely close anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got to have Deuce or somebody out there on him. Lock in. Close out on those threes. Make him put the ball on the floor. And then I'm getting a tough shooter out there. But then if not, then I got McCall. Then I got McCall. So I don't have to give McCall the tough assignment with Cade, who's going to overpower him. You know what I mean? And then maybe he uses his length a little bit to force a tough shot on Malik Beasley. Help off in situational occasions.
Mm-hmm. And even when you think about that, if you have OG out there, you can put him on Cade. Cat, I feel like, is a fine matchup for Tobias, too. If at the 4, you're going to have Mitch out there going against Isaiah Stewart or Jalen Duren. Like, it all matches up pretty well. And if you have Timmy out there,
I'll put
or
JB
probably
on
go
Timmy.
Malik. I'm sorry?
I would, if Timmy's out there, I put JB on Timmy.
Absolutely.
Closing
Even Malik
lineup.
Beasley. Yeah. Those guys are just meant to be three-point shooters. They're not going to really do anything else.
Yeah.
So, like, that line, this is also kind of why I'm like, that's why I'm saying I'm conflicted with how this game went, because we didn't have our full guys out there. Like, if OG was out there guarding Cade, it's not an easy 36 for him tonight.
Yeah. And on top of that, man, like, bro, we gave them 20 points. We played right into their hands in terms of the turnover game. That's right into their hands. It's just like Koo said, man. You force them in the half court with that 5. I don't see how they score on us in crunch.
I mean, Koo even acknowledges that we have the talent. He acknowledges the Knicks have the talent. And while we both agreed that it would not be an easy battle, the talent is in the Knicks' favor. They just got to go out there and execute. And since you're talking about turnovers tonight, and that goes hand in hand with execution, anything about Towns tonight? Anything about Bridges tonight? They gave you a little pause, gave you a little concern?
Oh, always. I mean, listen, I told y'all why I was scared to even get Towns, because he's not a money time player. And then when he was doing all this stuff in the regular season, people was going back to that reel like, oh, this is aging like milk. I said, okay, wait until the playoffs. And I'm not counting on it. I hope that he proves me wrong. But I don't see it up. I see Julius up here. This is why Julius is not a successful player. This is why, despite all the talents that you have, the upper echelon is reserved for the plays that got these. that played a chess match mentally. Everybody doesn't have that. That's where the few. That's why there's few superstars in this league, bro. Because they have this. I just don't see that with him, especially on the defensive side, the decision making. I just don't see it. I hope I'm wrong. He's on our team. I'm rooting for the guy. He's a very talented guy. But I see Randall up here. That's why when they first traded, what do you think? Question mark for a question mark. And it is still that for me until he proves me wrong.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I'm like, that's why I wasn't really thrilled. And I like, even tonight, like when you look at this game, right? Like if you were just box score watching, and sure, you'll see the 7 turnovers and you're like, unless you actually watch the game, like he still had an efficient night. He went 10 of 19 from the field. He got 25 points, 5 of 5 from the free throw line, gets you 10 boards. Like, hey, 25 and 10, 5.
Yeah.
7 assists. I mean, okay. Randall used to do 25 and 10, have like 5 turnovers. Knicks would still win games. But if you watched at what these turnovers were, you're like, huh? Like, it's just like simple stuff. Then you're just like, I don't know. It's just, I am very interested to see how this postseason goes, man.
Yeah.
Because you made a big trade, man. He is a big salary. And I mean, that's the thing that I feel like when you evaluate Towns, people look over that sometimes a little too often, where he'll be making $60 million by the time everything is said and done, if he's still a New York Knick. And to go $60 million to a guy who, yes, one of the best shooting bigs, and like for his position, like extremely gifted offensively, extremely gifted. You cannot deny that talent. But guys who are getting paid that much, you expect them to elevate the team to the next level, especially when you talk about that execution, protecting the rock. It comes down to like the fringe areas around the game. And so I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see how he performs in the postseason, man.
For sure. All right, final 3 calls of the night. Rapid fire, people. Let's start with Sunset Park, Brooklyn. Sunset Park, Brooklyn, 76. Going once. Going twice. Okay. All right, Sunset Park. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. All right, Carlo in the Philippines. Carlo, go ahead. Do we have Carlo?
Hey, kumusta kayo, CP and Alex?
Good. How you doing, man?
What up?
Good. Just a few observations about this game. We need more minutes for Achiuwa in the playoffs. Because every time Thibs give him the keys, he plays well. So trusting in him is a great confidence builder for him, or for any person, of course. That poster dunk on Stewart is the highlight of the game for me. And then we need Theo Pinson minutes for campaign. I describe him as overzealous and reckless sometimes. I'd rather have DeLon Wright as a backup point guard because he's more calm and defensively is way better than Payne.
Yeah.
Just a suggestion, Coach Thibs, if you're listening. If they want to play Cam, let him play during garbage time. There's one play that really made me punch my table. That play in the fourth where he's about to attack the middle lane, and I already have an inkling that he was about to do the James Worthy scoop shot instead of kicking it out to a wide open cat. I mean, Cam. There are 2 large defenders in front of you, and that on that play, just pass the ball, make everyone better, and make a basketball play. As a point guard, that is your job. And I agree with what JD and Alex said before. He reminds me of J.R. Smith. He's like J.R. Smith 0.5. What else? We finally figure out how to turn on Shamet. They just need to talk trash on him, and then we're good to go. And then lastly, we do not fear anybody, but entertainment wise, I'd like to see Detroit in the first round because they're scrappy, they're unpredictable. It's going to be entertaining as compared to a boring game with the Celtics where they only shoot threes. I want to see Precious Achiuwa choke beefs too for a change. And that's all.
All right, man. Stay up. Carlo in the Philippines. Sayquizzy, go ahead and close us out, man. Sayquizzy was good.
You can hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Is the Knicks tanking for the 4th seed? Find out next time on KFTV. We never know. But all jokes aside, though, but
Yeah.
I like how McBride had a good game today. See him step up. If we used to play them, he stepped up today. I thought Cat had a good game too, but 7 turnovers you can't do. You can't do in the playoffs, and he did that against the Cavs. You can't do that in the playoffs. And the Shaman, I don't know why Thibs took him out. He got mad and started going off, made a 3, two threes, then got a charge, then made him do a illegal screen. I'm like, bro, do another play. Thibs take him out. But then we got Campaign over here doing circus shots. We leave him in until it's a 2-point game. I'm like, come on now. We finally got somebody that's hot. That's what Thibs cannot do in the playoffs. If Payne or even Shaman get hot, leave them in for a little longer. Don't take them out if they end up getting hot. But we should be fine though. Like, I ain't tripping over this. Like, what? Pistons didn't win until like a playoff game until 2008. I was like 6 years old. We'd be fine.
Yeah.
If OG out there, we Gucci. But that's all I really got to say.
All right, man. See you tomorrow, man. Sayquizzy on the Discord. Salute, man. Great show. Great show. All the mods. And we'll see you guys tomorrow, man. Second half of it back-to-back. We'll see who plays and who don't. Let me make sure I cleared out all the Fanchise channel members and Superchats. Blackness, salute. Fanchise channel member. I got Rhyme Animal, Chuck D, Robert Randolph. Shout out to Nate Lopez. Gifted 5 Fanchise channel memberships. Shout out to Nate now. Yeah, I missed that one. Shout out to Nate. Shout out to him. Knicks Forever. I got that. Omen, Christian B. Salute. Raheem Robinson. GQ Tugboat. I finally got it. Tugboat. Felix Maldonado says we don't need momentum. We need health. Shout out to Felix. Jack Webb, Australia. Salute to you. Philippines. Salute to you. Eldon Tassico, got that. Elaine Vasquez says no Mitchell tonight. Thibs is holding back. Bridges is also holding back. Thibs will go with a 2 big lineup. First playoff series. And Khabib said it best. Champions duck no one. Shout out to Knicks Forever. Dropped a little UFC analogy there. All right, Al. See you tomorrow, man. Maybe we'll get Starberry tomorrow on the Bleacher Report show. Remember, people, if you're scared, go to church. If not, you get your rally towels, man. KnicksFanTV.com. For the fans, by the fans.
You know what we need, CP?
Yeah.
I tweeted this out when Shamit was going off. Sham wow. You remember those commercials?
Absolutely. They were terrible, but yes. All right, man. I'm about to get to some Netflix or something, man, you know? Get my Netflix on.
What are you watching now? What are you watching now, man?
So I've started Zero Day with Robert De Niro.
Okay.
I started Zero Day. You know, so I was on a good tear. Like we ran through Lioness, then we did what's the joint with Eddie Redmayne on Peacock? That was fire. I forget the name of that show. The Jackal, The Day of the Jackal. Excellent. We did Lioness, and then we did another one. Paradise. Crazy. Cerebral.
Oh, I heard good things about Paradise. Is it worth the watch?
Mind blown. Yeah, it was crazy. Paradise was crazy. And then I put this one down and then got back into it at the recommendation of the people, which was Night Agent. Night Agent was cool, but then it started getting a little repetitive. And a couple things that really grinded my gears about Night Agent. Number one, it's a lot of gunplay and nobody's getting clipped. It's a lot of people missing shots. You got the main character. What's the main character's name? Peter. Always getting his ass whooped when he's up against a guy. Ultimately, he'll turn the tides, but he starts off just getting laced up. So they say there's another season coming out. I don't know, man. I went through season 2 just to keep a momentum going. But Night Agent was kind of it was a 6 for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
it was just a lot of things where it's these people work for the FBI, they're Secret Service secret agents, and they do the dumbest thing a civilian would do. It's one of those. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Not really realistic on a Homeland or Lioness type of deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah.
Have you checked out White Lotus at all? I was watching some
No,
White Lotus.
I've been hearing a lot about White Lotus. I heard that's pretty good.
It is good, man. I just finished season 3. Wow. Let me tell you, people. If you like
Really?
suspense,
White
you like
Lotus.
suspense?
What
Yep.
what network is that?
Max.
Max. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I gotta check it out.
And you gotta check out Severance, man. Severance is good. Ben Stiller did a
Okay,
phenomenal
yeah,
job with
yeah,
that one.
yeah,
Season
definitely.
1, awesome. Season 2,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Definitely.
If you truly like sci-fi and just like cliffhangers, man,
Okay, John.
phenomenal
Talento.
job.
Okay, Severance. John Talento says Dope Thief. Okay.
Dope Thief. Okay.
Okay, Dope Thief. Yeah, Night Agent. It was just like, yo, like you guys are supposed to be like Secret Service, FBI, and like they just do like the most ridiculous things to get themselves in a bind. I don't get it, and they handle everything by themselves. I don't get it. But anyway, that was just my TV soapbox, if you will. Any recommendations? Leave it in the chat, and we'll check it out and review. We'll do a little review, a Knicks Weekly or something.
There you go.
Oh, Daredevil came out already?
Daredevil made a return.
Oh, I got it, Yeah, that was my joint, the original. I got to get back to Daredevil. Absolutely, yeah. I'm Marvel 100%. Dope Thief, okay. William Burton throws his hat in the Dope Thief ring. Okay.
I was always skeptical with the new Daredevil after what Ben Affleck did for Daredevil. I was like, oh my God.
No, that one was good, man. And that was with my guy who was originally on Boardwalk Empire.
Mm-hmm.
He was nice on that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. OW, salute. C-Mac, if you're listening, C-Mac, the cable guy, email me, man. I got some people that want to set up a meeting. C-Mac, the cable guy, if you're out there, make sure you guys reach out to us, man. Either kftvmedia@gmail.com or DM me on Instagram. C-Mac, we got some people that want to talk to you, man.
Lopez 104. The Bear's also good too, man.
Yeah.
The Bear on Hulu. That's also a good show.
Oh, C-Mac's in the chat. Yo, C-Mac, you gotta hit me, man. Hit me. Definitely hit me, man. Let me drop my joint in here. I've been looking for C-Mac for a minute now. He's probably gonna pop up at the watch party, but C-Mac, you gotta hit me at that email address and then give me your number. I need your number. Okay. All right, Al. It's good talk, man. Good side talk. I'll let you boy,
That's what we do around here, man.
Yeah.
We cover a lot of bases around these parts.
About to go get my nightcap on. See you guys some more, man. #1 show for the fans by the fans. Hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the